Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. Let's get started. I want to start a new series on this channel called Just for Today. Just for Today is a book that I found at the local Goodwill here where I live, and it is a revised edition to kind of like your Alcoholics Anonymous book, but it's revised and it's dedicated to alcoholics and drug addiction. I started reading this because I am in recovery through alcoholism and drugs. I don't seek out every day, let me rephrase that. I didn't for one point in my life think that I would ever be an alcoholic or seek out drugs every day to get through a day. And then life happens and you feel things and you don't want to feel them anymore. And you just try to numb that with alcohol, pot, narcotics, Lortabs, Percocets, Klonopin, something that will bring you up, something that will knock you out. You try to numb the pain of life with these things, and it works for a little while until it starts to run off and you need more. And then that's when the chase begins, and then that's where the lies begin, and that's where the choices become your closing door to anything, any opportunity that you may have had once, because you are choosing to go down avenues that bring you right back where you started, because every day you need something to numb reality, to get through reality, so you're not going anywhere but staying right where you are. So every day when you wake up and the alcohol is gone, the bottle is empty, or there's no more pills left in the baggie, or the last line you did last night, or that, there's only one line left on the dresser for this morning, you're sitting right back to where you started, seeking out more, seeking out the wrong people, the wrong environments, in order to just breathe through a day. And that's no way to live. The purpose of life is evolution and growth, and the will to seek greatness and feel the touch of someone that loves you, or listen to your child's laugh, or practice a hobby, making music, doing yoga, arts and crafts, sightseeing, hiking, getting yourself fit, coming across situations that you have to make a choice, be it first or third world issue kind of problem, but being able to wake up the next day, or for that matter, being able to go to sleep that night, trusting or having faith that you made the right choice. And in some of our cases, we fought the battle of the Devil's Row. And just for today, I'd like to hope for tomorrow that my fight for drugs and alcohol is over. Really, I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to who I am, what I've been through, and why I'm here, and why I want to bring forth my story to you, because I feel alone. So let's begin. I started fooling around with drugs and alcohol when I was a teenager, a lot like a lot of other people. And then I grew to learn that I remember how something made me feel. So if I want to feel like that again, I know where to find it, or I know how to find it. then you kind of get off the path of it, you know, like something good happens in your life, and since you still haven't fallen down that road of full-on addiction, you take the leap. It feels good. Natural life highs feel really good. Maybe you nailed a great job, or maybe you met someone, or, you know, maybe if you have an opportunity to go live somewhere and you really want to start chasing that dream or that life, that true life in a healthy lifestyle with a healthy head and mind and body to move forward. So then you're doing that, you're living whatever life choice it is you made, and things are going great, you're pursuing it, you're waking up early, you're working hard, you're getting it, you're doing your thing. And then a trial comes along, and then another one. You have a glass of wine, perhaps, you know, to get through the night. It was a rough day, but you beat it. But now here you are drinking at the end of the night because it was just rough. And then a couple days go by, things are all right, you're working it, and then you're like, well, you know what, maybe I'll just grab a bottle of wine tonight to have a glass, just because I want to, because I can, because I know that I'm going to get up like a boss tomorrow and go do my thing. And then you empty the entire bottle and you wake up anxious, you wake up extremely tired, or maybe you wake up late and now you have to call your job and explain why you're not there. All of that I've dealt with in much more depth than I'm going to explode on you right here, right now in this video. So just for today, I'd like to read to you a briefing. The book has just brief little paragraphs, and it's a calendar in a book. Like every page has a date. I don't really know how to articulate this the best, but it starts with January, and just January 2nd, January 3rd, and then so on and so forth. And you know, here's April, and then moving on. And I want to go through this book with you. It is the beginning of the year. Today is January 5th or 6th. Good Lord, let me check. January 5th, 2020. So I hope everyone had a safe and happy and healthy new year. And if you didn't, and maybe that's why you clicked on this video, it's okay, because I didn't either. So for the third time, as a charm, let's get started. Just for today, revised. Let's go ahead, since it is January 5th, and start there, because that's where we are. We don't need to look back and think about the days before us, and we do not need to run ahead and look at the days ahead of us. Just for today, right now, where we are, we can take a breath, and we can share together. So this page it's titled Recovery at Home, which is interesting because here we are. I have not read every single journal in this book, and as a matter of fact, January 5th, the Recovery at Home, that piece we're going to read together right now, I have never read. So here we go. It all starts, they each start with like a little quote or not an incantation, a scripture up here, and then there is like a thought out reading below. And then I thought I could maybe share my thoughts after sometimes, and maybe I won't sometimes. So we'll just see how it goes just for today. Recovery at home. We can enjoy our families in a new way and may become a credit to them instead of an embarrassment or a burden. We're doing great in recovery, aren't we? We go to a meeting every day. We spend every evening with our friends in the fellowship, and every weekend we dash off to a service workshop. But if things are falling to pieces at home, we're not doing so great after all. We expect our families to understand. After all, we're not using drugs anymore. Why don't they recognize our progress? Don't they understand how important our meetings, our service, and our involvement with this fellowship are? Our families will not appreciate the change NA is working in our lives unless we show them. If we rush off to a meeting the same way we rushed off to use drugs, what has changed? If we continue to ignore the needs and desires of our partners and children, failing to accept our responsibilities at home, we aren't practicing these steps, these principles in all of our affairs. We must live the program everywhere we go, in everything we do. If we want the spiritual life to be more than a theory, we have to live at home. Emphasis on live. When we do this, the people we share our lives with are sure to notice the change and be grateful that we found NA. Just for today, I will take my recovery home with me. And like I said here, it starts with a quote or a scripture, and then it has the title here, Recovery at Home. Recovery at Home. The date, which is today, January 5th, the quote and or scripture, and then basic text, page 100. So this is coming from the original Alcoholics Anonymous book. I believe that's what is happening, why it's saying basic text, because this is Narcotics Anonymous. I thought this was AA, and I thought it was an AA one, and it's an NA one, which is really kind of cool to me. My boyfriend and I, we both own the AA book. However, as much as I myself struggle with alcohol and he does a little, we both struggle extremely with drugs as well, narcotics. So I just found this with you today. I want to revise this video and kind of edit it a little bit and maybe even re-record the whole thing. I feel like it was 11 minutes of me trying to figure out what we're about to do here, but the point is to be here now just for today. And today I did this, and I want to move forward and see my growth from it. And that's the point. I'm not going to keep trying to, we can't delete our day. We can't edit our day. We can't, say, I got to go back and re-talk to that person. I said the wrong thing, or you can't. What happens, happened, and then there's the now. And I think that not editing these videos and not revising them or re-recording is another way to just be honest in my moments, and then I can even look back at my own journey, because this is something that I'm doing for myself, and that is a selfish thing to say, but not all selfish things are bad, because if I'm not learning to be selfish for myself, then I'm not learning to respect myself. And the fact that I get to share my selfishness with you, hopefully we can live and learn and grow together. And that's my hopes for this. That's why I'm doing this, because I feel alone. My boyfriend's in jail, and he could be facing up to 2 years right now. And I've talked about him before. His name is Matthew. I've talked about him on some of my little get readies with me and stuff. You can probably find that on the channel somewhere. But I think that this series is necessary, and I think it's going to keep me on the right path. And I hope that I can see people recovering and following with me. Whether you're recovering, whether you're relapsing, or whether you just are curious, maybe you have a family member and you don't understand. Welcome to everyone. And honestly, I kind of don't feel as alone as I did 13 minutes ago, because I feel like I already can reach out to the people that understand me. Talking about this stuff in reality to the people around you, be it colleagues, friends, family, strangers, the stuff you don't just start blurting out and talking and saying, you want to know what's really going on with me? You want to know how, you're asking me how my day is? Well, let me tell you. And then we don't just vomit this shit that we're dealing with to everyone. And now I feel like I have a way to get sick, so to speak. Thank you so much for listening and clicking on this video. I worry for you, and I hope that you are okay. I will push my anxieties aside and trust that if you have clicked on this video, then your will and your diligence is very strong. And I believe in you. I trust in you. And I solely hope with all that I have inside of me that you are finding your way and you are finding your path. And I'm just glad that you think that I might be able to be a complement to that, to your journey. So stay tuned for tomorrow, because this is an everyday series just for today. If we skip over a series, or if we skip over a date, I'll be sure to note that. But just for today, January 5th, recovery at home, which I think is just a great way to start this. If you feel free to pick up this book, it's Just for Today, Narcotics Anonymous Revised. And I think that you will really like it a lot. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, you'll see me, but